name's Nicole Martinez-LeGrand. I am the Multicultural Collections Coordinator here at the Indiana Historical Society, and I will be telling you about Jean Shepherd. But first, take a bite of this carrot or habanero. Ugh. Mmm. So Jean Shepherd was born Jean Parker Shepherd Jr. July 26, 1921 on the south side of Chicago, but he was raised on the southeast side of Hammond in a neighborhood called Hessville. At the age of 16, he earned his amateur radio license, and he graduated from Hammond High School in 1939. He served in the U.S. Army during World War II stateside in the Army Signal Corps, and he then began his radio career shortly thereafter. So he started off in 1945 back in Hammond, Indiana at WJOB, which still exists, and later went on to Toledo, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and ended up in New York City, where most of his radio fame occurred. So he was a humorist, a writer, and did a lot of practical jokes. In 1956, he asked all of his listeners to go to local bookstores and request a book that didn't exist called I, Libertine. I think back then the New York Times bestseller list was by demand and not by sales. So based on demand, I think it made the NY Times bestseller list. So his nickname was Shep, and he wrote a series of stories and wrote a bunch of series of stories and talked about growing up in Northwest Indiana, and especially in the Steel Mill area. And so after a while, he put this all together in a book called In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash. Before this book, he was doing his drooling his spiel on his spiel on the radio, but also wrote for Playboy, which is not why I'm wearing this suit. And so he wrote his book, various other publications, and did some screenwriting. In 1983, his book, he wrote and narrated the infamous Christmas Story, hence why I'm wearing this bunny suit. Thank you, Aunt Clara. And so where he narrated as the adult Ralphie Parker, and I did a cameo role inside of Higbee's. So I've got some fact or fiction related to that movie. The Chop Suey Palace did exist. It was called Cam Lawn, which was by Hammond High School, located at 5256 Homan Avenue. Opened in 1938 and closed in 1969. Higbee's was based on downtown Hammond's infamous department store called Goldblatt's. The town was called Homan, Indiana. Homan is actually a main large street in Hammond, Indiana. Flick and Schwartz were real friends. Flick ended up owning a bar on Kennedy Avenue. Now it's a tequila bar, I think. And he did live on Cleveland Street, which butted up against his elementary school, Warren G. Harding School, also in Hessville. So that is it. Can I have my milk? Thank you.